You thought you could get rid of me, but no, I'm coming back. Welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be talking about the year abroad. I'll be sharing my experience of doing a semester in Canada at McMaster University, sharing tips on how you can prepare for your time abroad, or like just things that you should know regarding like housing, academics, socializing and travel whilst at McMaster University. If you're new to my channel, hi, I'm Marguerite. I'm in my 3rd year of university. I go to Warwick University in the UK, but currently I'm on a year abroad. So I did 1 semester in Canada, and I'm about to do a semester in Berlin in a couple of months. So subscribe to my channel for more year abroad content. So when I was doing like my research on Mac, I found a lot of videos about it, but not many from like an exchange student's perspective. So now I hope I can bring that perspective to you guys. So we're going to start off with housing. What I'd recommend is that you apply for on-campus accommodation, living on res, just so that it's easier for you like in the long run, because your bills are included, you won't have to deal with sketchy landlords potentially, and you can also get a meal plan. You have to get a meal plan, you have no choice about it, but it just means that you don't have to worry about grocery shopping or like spending time to cook, because that can take up a lot of your time. It's just one less thing to worry about. So as for the meal plans, I chose like meal plan D, like apartment meal plan D, and that was cheapest, and that was honestly like enough to keep me going for sure. The only 2 residences that are offered to exchange students are Bates and Mary Kai's. That's because these are the only 2 residences that have kitchens, and I guess McMaster assumes that exchange students and international students will be staying on campus like over the holidays, and over the holidays that's when all the food places like the canteens are closed. Yeah, so obviously you'd have to like cook for yourself. Bates is a little bit cheaper. I chose that, and also because I looked on Reddit and I saw that Bates was like somewhat a sociable accommodation. You do get a living room. You also get a living room in Mary Kai's. I mean, this kind of feeds into what I'll be talking about later in terms of the social aspect of McMaster, where I was able to host like gatherings and parties in my living room, like the living room actually inside my apartment, because every residence on Mac has like a common room kind of on each floor, but you share it with like everyone on your floor. There's like tons and tons of people, whereas like the living room in like Kai's and Bates, you would just share with your flatmates. So I shared a living room with 3 girls basically. Obviously we shared the same bathroom, same toilet. I guess an advantage of choosing Kai's is that you have food places literally on the ground floor, or as the first floor as Canadians say, called Bistro and Bistro to go, and they have really good like food options. So when the weather gets cold, like you don't even need to leave your building to get food, so that's really convenient. Obviously applying to live on res, it's a lottery. It's not based on like a first come first served basis. So if you don't manage to like live on res, there's so many options like for off-campus housing. You can find it through websites that McMaster offers, like alternatives, and the Facebook group chats for exchange students. It's like not too difficult to like find other exchange students in a similar situation where they haven't been able to find living on res, so you can like find houses with them. And the houses in like the local area, honestly, like they're really nice. You have houses like literally like a 5-minute walk away from campus, like in Westdale, yeah, the general Hamilton area, in downtown Hamilton too. There's a lot to choose from, so don't worry about it. So I think in like June, around that time, that's when you apply for like living on res. As for choosing the courses, modules, but they call it the courses that you would take, that's in like July, so like after you sort out your housing. So I had to choose 5 courses, and that would be equivalent to taking like 120 cats at Warwick. My contact hours increased a lot, because at Warwick I take English literature and history, and I only have like 8 contact hours a week. And then I went to Mac and I had 15 contact hours. I was able to manage it. It's just the opportunity to refine your time management skills. TAs, so that's the name of the person who would lead your seminars. They call it tutorials. TAs are very supportive. Like if you're struggling, you can just email them and I'm sure they would like give you some support. I think generally like the support for international and exchange students, it was really good. Like from what I heard, like there's a designated space in one of the buildings called Musk where it's like the international and exchange student space or something in Musk. So yeah, you could just always go there if you have like a problem or a question. I chose courses that I haven't been able to learn at Warwick. I chose Introduction to Macroeconomics, Global Politics, Music for Film and Television, History of 10 Global Empires, and Introduction to Indigenous Studies. I really enjoyed all my courses. Economics was definitely the hardest. I've never studied it before, but it was very rewarding. So like a whole mix, but I'd really recommend that you take courses that you haven't been able to learn at your home university. And at McMaster, and honestly all North American universities, they have midterms and finals. So midterms, like exams and assignments that come in the middle of the term, surprise surprise. And then like from midterms onwards, like the studying and like the essay writing, it just doesn't stop until finals. I think I had like a 1 week period in like November, end of November, where like I'd submitted like my last essay and then I didn't really have to start studying for finals quite yet. Like I could, as a 1 week, literally only 1 week. But I mean, I think my point is the work doesn't stop, so you have to like take the initiative to carve out like downtime, like break times to just relax and like socialize with friends. What is important is that this year abroad, it does not count for me, and that's usually the case for most exchange students, I would say. Don't take your studies on your year abroad too seriously. You can afford to like travel a bit more, socialize a bit more, make the most of your year abroad in that sense. But if this year still does count for you, I think it's still manageable to balance like your studies with your social life. I actually did a video on this where I give tips on how you can like maintain that balance, and I will include a link here. I think it would be here. On to the fun part, socializing. So as I mentioned, in housing, living in Bates and having that living room allowed me to host gatherings and parties, and I mean those were cool memories. Those were cool memories for not only me but also the friends that I invited. McMaster has a really good school spirit. Obviously to me as like a UK student coming from a university where there's no school spirit, McMaster has very significant school spirit. Go Marauders. So I really recommend that you go and attend like the American football games. It's literally just like what you'd imagine in the movies. Hoko is something to look forward to, usually like at the end of September, early October. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun to participate in that tradition because you don't get that in UK universities. Extracurricular clubs, there are a lot. I joined Dragon Boat rowing and I met a lot of great people through that. I joined Ace McMaster and I participated in a case competition at a conference that they held. Obviously societies are a great way to meet new people and make lifelong friends. For like places you can visit, Westdale, you could do so many things in Westdale. Westdale is like the closest kind of like a high street. It's just like a street that's like a 5 to 10 minute walk from campus, and it's got a bookshop, cafes that you can study in, whatever, stationery shops, bubble tea places. There's this really nice like Korean hot dog place that me and my friends like to go to. It's a nice like go-to area for socializing, I would say. Like I've made a lot of good memories there. There's like pubs as well, restaurants. And then if you want to go to an actual city, I'm going to start from like closest to the furthest. Hamilton, Burlington, Oakville, Mississauga, and Toronto. So in downtown Hamilton, it was really fun. Me and my friend, we went to a jazz cafe. That was really cool. Well, it was a cafe, and then that night, every Fridays, they had jazz nights. full memory. And then in Burlington and Oakville, I went to like the cinemas there. In Burlington, I went to see like the Leve movie with a friend, and in Oakville, it was Interstellar because it was the like 10th anniversary screening. And in Mississauga, there's like this big shopping mall, Square One shopping mall. It's really fun in there. There's a lot. There's like an Indigo. Indigo is Canada's version of Waterstones. It's like this big bookshop. Okay, and then Rec Room. Oh my god, that's probably like the best arcade that I've been to. There was mini golf, bowling, photo booth, like basketball hoop, archery. There's also axe throwing, but me and my friend did not do that. Last but not least, Toronto. That's like a 2.5 hour train ride, I would say. 2 hours to 2.5 hours from like McMaster University, and it's great for like a day out with a friend. I went to see Conan Gray perform live. That was so much fun. It was like awesome to see his songs not just on Spotify anymore, but actually like performed like right in front of me. I also went to watch a basketball game in Toronto. It was like between the Raptors and the Knicks. I actually did not wear this shirt on purpose, but it worked out. Yeah, there's also a great vintage market called Kensington Market in Toronto. Welcome week is such a good time to be making friends. That's where I made most of my first year friends, and I'm still keeping in contact with them to this day. Okay, now travel, my favorite bit. Obviously you're going all the way to Canada. It was like an intercontinental flight, is that the word, for me, so I had to make the most of it. I'm coming all this way to Canada, I might as well like see the landscape. So I went on a camping trip. It was organized by Mac Outdoor Club, one of the societies, and that was like at the end of September. It fell on the long weekend. Yeah, so they have a long weekend at like the end of September for Truth and Reconciliation Day. So that's when I went to Algonquin Park. I will insert pictures. It was beautiful. The leaves are turning like red, brown, orange. It looks amazing. I would definitely recommend going to Algonquin Park if you have the opportunity. Niagara Falls, obviously that's going to be on your list. That's literally 2.5 to 3 hours by bus, but that's amazing. It's literally on your doorstep, like literally on the East Coast, which I was so grateful for. And then yeah, during reading week, they have a reading week like mid-October. My mum visited and we went to New York, Washington DC and Boston, and I actually vlogged that. I will link that right there. I'm super grateful that I got to see, you know, the East Coast of America and New York, literally just like everything that I've seen in the movies and TV shows. It was awesome. A trip to remember. I'd really recommend Banff if you get that opportunity. In the UK, you don't really get snowy mountains, but in Banff, you do. And I also vlogged that. That will also be linked. Yeah, that was a life-changing 4 days. And then last but not least, I went with some Mac friends to Blue Mountain ski resort. That allowed me to ski for the first time. Really glad that I got to have that experience, and I met some great people. Yeah, Blue Mountain, we took the Flixbus from Toronto to get there. I think the bus was like 3 hours. Yeah, so I guess those are my recommendations, tried and tested. Yeah, I went to Banff literally before my finals started, very early December, and I went to Blue Mountain after my finals ended in that weekend period, and then I flew back to the UK on the Monday. Last but not least, I just have some tips you should just bear in mind. Okay, so number one, it really helps that the main language that they speak in Ontario is English, and so that means that you can immerse yourself with the locals as well. There's no language barrier, so I mean that's something that you should definitely take advantage of, and you know, get to know Canadian culture better that way. Like, you came all this way, like don't just stick with other exchange students. You being an exchange student is literally such a good conversation starter. You have the advantage. All the Canadian students were so friendly. I feel like I made some of my friends through the conversation about that, like, oh yeah, I'm here for a semester and stuff, and then the rest is history. Really just put yourself out there and don't be afraid to, you know, flex the exchange student card. You know. 3, say yes to all plans that you're invited to. You're only there for a semester or a year. You're not going to get this time back after. So please just make as many memories as you can. I was actually considering saying no to Banff just because of like financial reasons. So yeah, I remember like one of my friends reached out to me and she invited me to join her and her friends for the Banff trip. And I was like, yeah, sure. And I was looking at flight tickets. I was thinking, oh, like, damn. But you know what? Money comes back, and it's not every day that you get to travel to somewhere that not everyone has the opportunity to travel to. You're never gonna regret like going to something, like, and even if it turns out like it wasn't that great, at least now you know and you have a memory of something. It's more to add. Document and capture these memories. Take as many photos and videos as you can, because I'm known for taking so many like photos. Like I'd always ask my friends, oh, can we take a selfie? My friends got me a scrapbook for my birthday when I was in Canada. Look at this. Wait, this is a good idea. Yeah, look, bam, 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 bam. Yeah. You have something to look back on. Even if you don't have a scrapbook, you have your camera roll to look back on. Try to travel if you have the opportunity. We're in this world to explore it, right? That's my mindset. So I don't regret going to Banff at all. Like, yes, my bank account was drained by the end of my exchange, but I would never trade my memories to get that money back. Definitely not. Definitely not. And I think that's just a mindset to keep in mind when you go on this exchange. Honestly, I'm so excited. If you're going to Mac this September, or whenever you're watching this, you're gonna have a great time. Comment if you have any more questions. And if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye. Okay, so the surprise that you're all waiting for, oh my god, it's actually so dark, the lighting is bad. Oh, the surprise that you're all waiting for, I missed my Canadian friends so much that I booked a flight at the end of this year to go like visit them again. I'm super excited. Yeah, that was a surprise. You thought you could get rid of me, but no, I'm coming back. Like, see, I had such a good time that I'm literally booked a flight. I literally spent more money to go see my friends again, and hopefully that is what your exchange is going to be like. Yay.